make this short and quick and not need a lot of edits.
We're matching.
I had this on first. You have a gray shirt on under that if you were to take that off. Here, let me put one of these on.
No, I don't think so. No. No.
Shoot.
You have a spoon stash.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Ow!
Hi, and welcome back to week 15 of As Good As It Gets.
I'm Cris.
And I'm Mikey.
And this is a weekly chat from our kitchen.
Holy moly, we do not like this weather. Here was the plan. This is why y'all are getting this video so late this week. We started taping this episode yesterday, and we had to stop because we started late. I had a doctor's appointment. We had this going on. We had that going on. Then I have this thing called a job. And so I take off, go to work. I'm like, well, we'll record the other part of this after I get back home. And then edit tomorrow morning or today, and then have it to you by like noon, maybe 1 o'clock. Well, let's just tell you what happened. They said, hey, you're probably going to get some rain tonight, and it might turn to sleet or ice. But they weren't making a big deal about it.
I felt like there was a lot of focus on the fact that it was going to be 50 degrees today. Not that there was going to be the apocalypse in between.
Yeah, there was like, oh, you're going to have a heat wave, and then it'll get cold again. So we're like, oh, well, gosh, it'll be warm and then cold. And all we're thinking about was, yay, that means less bugs in the spring. And get out of work, jump in the truck, and take off down the road. I noticed it's a little slick. I thought, well, gosh, I didn't know it was going to be that slick. And then I get on I-70 just outside of Indianapolis, and I'm going maybe 50 miles an hour. And then I look up ahead of me, and it was like a sheet. It just all of a sudden just iced over real quick, and I saw taillights, fishtail and everything, and I saw flashers going off. I thought, well, I should probably slow down. So I slowed down really, really slow, clicked on my flashers because people were coming up behind, and then we noticed we were stopped. And I sat there on I-70 for about 2 hours, and there was no hope of moving. Nobody knew what was going on. We knew there was wrecks up ahead. And then the salt truck guy that showed up about an hour and a half too late, he just took a walk up to see what was going on. And then he comes back and he said, well, there's a hill that you go up for the exits and everything, and nobody could make it up the hill, and they kept sliding off and crashing into one another.
I'm sure the salt truck guy was maybe on a different part because, like, the towns had their roads salted.
Yeah, the towns were done, but the interstates weren't touched yet. And so he comes out and like, well, what do we do? He's like, if you could turn around, turn around. Me and a buddy of mine that just happened to be like a couple car lengths back, we're all everybody's talking on Facebook yesterday, you know, oh my gosh, I'm stuck on 70. Somebody's like, I'm stuck on 465. Somebody's like, wait, you're on 70? I'm at this sign. I'm like, I'm at this sign. And so he goes, step out of the truck. So we step out of the truck, and we're like 2 cars from one another, and this is a guy I haven't seen in like 16 years. So it was kind of cool meeting up with him when we chatted for like...
No traffic was moving because that would have been really dangerous.
No, there was no traffic moving whatsoever. Yeah. Both sides of 70 were shut down for about an hour. They opened up one lane, but it wasn't ours. And so we stood there for about 20 minutes talking right in the middle of an interstate where people are usually going 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. So salt truck guy comes back and says, turn around. So luckily, a semi moved up just enough where people could go through the turnaround. I turn around, make sure I'm in four-wheel drive, and then at best I was going 30 miles an hour, and that's when there was nobody else around, and I had like 3 lanes to myself. Most of the time I was going 20. The part of it I was going 10. And we saw wreck after wreck after wreck. I think they said there were about 500 wrecks yesterday just in central Indiana.
Around midnight, well, 11 o'clock midnight last night. So everybody was stranded. There were people who didn't get home until like 6 a.m.
And I'll put up a screenshot of what people were showing of the traffic on Google Maps. It was showing any place that there was a wreck or something that was going on, and the map is just covered in wrecks. It was so bad.
And so it warmed up just enough today, and everything got wet again, and now it's back below freezing. Yep. And so
I went on a grocery run and grabbed a bunch of groceries so that we could film a couple shows as well as have food for the rest of the weekend. And we don't plan on moving for about the next 30 hours or so. So if this is our final transmission, know that we ate well. But it was scary.
So,
y'all,
all that led to...
It's winter. Drive slow.
Yes.
Know that when it gets cold, things freeze over. When things freeze over, don't drive fast.
I think it was just... I think everybody generally knows that. It hit so sudden that a lot of people couldn't help it.
So one thing, if you could do, pray for the first responders that are going out there that don't have a choice, that had to be out, because there were cops out last night that were getting hit. And they were getting, their cars plowed into because people weren't slowing down or couldn't stop. I saw people that were stopped and then just started sliding out of nowhere. So the cops are out there, firefighters, EMTs, you guys. If any of y'all are watching, we love you. Thank you so much for being out there for us.
They were showing firefighters trying to walk across 465 that were like falling, like trying to walk across. They couldn't get enough traction to even get across to where they needed to go.
You couldn't walk on it. Our road right outside our house, you got to come up a little hill before you get to our house. I was barely getting up and I was in 4-wheel drive. It's scary. So we're holed up. We're staying here, and we're taping this show right now.
And it's much later, and so we're hoping that we're not going to make as many mistakes so you don't have to edit so much.
I hope not. You might see us on Sunday morning.
Or hopefully Saturday night.
Yeah. But let's get to it. Let's get to some reader mail.
So, speaking of the weather wreaking havoc on us, we got some fun reader mail that then I semi-destroyed because of the weather. Everything's super crinkly. I've got it dried back out.
That's the reason I can't have nice things.
Yes, I was so upset. I was like, oh no, because I had them in my car on my seat, which was fine, but there was a water bottle that froze. It didn't explode. Like nothing happened other than when it thawed itself out in my seat, it like leaked all over all my mail, and I was very disgruntled. But there was no one to blame but myself, so I'm sorry. We very much appreciate it. Do you want to read this one? This one's from, I believe, Sarah O's family.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. So this one, Pretty Little Wreath.
Yes.
And we got a couple cool bookmarks. I'll get to that in a second. Sarah and her husband David say, may the seasons surround you with warmth and happiness. Seasons greetings, love, Sarah and David. Sarah O, thank you very much. She's been a part of the Posse for a while now.
Yeah.
And we love seeing the familiar names. Merry Christmas back to you guys. And she got us sent us a couple bookmarks that Miss Ad will love, because my little daughter is a book nerd and she loves bookmarks. So one of them says, books are snow special. So way with the puns there. And then the other one is the story about candy canes and how they relate to Jesus, about Jesus being the gentle shepherd. So that's awesome. Thank you, Sarah and David, very much. Merry Christmas to you guys. We love you.
Yes.
And who's the other one from?
Then we got another Christmas card from Kim Butler, who is also a member of the Crock Posse that we hear from a lot. It says, it's got Mickey and Minnie on the front, which is a big thing in our family. We do like the mouse. And it says happy holidays, and it says, I hope that you all have a great holiday. Thank you so much for sharing yourselves and your family with us, the strangers of the internet. So we love that. That was funny. And then it said, much love and good wishes from Kim Butler and her happy and full husband Derek. So, thanks, Kim.
Derek, glad to see you eating well, buddy.
Yes,
Merry Christmas to you guys.
So, thank you, guys. We just love hearing from you. So, appreciate it. Lots of very sweet notes. So, with all of that, we do have another update about our giveaway. We were giving you your choice of the Crock-Pot Casserole Programmable Slow Cooker, or the right size, and I didn't do the quotations this time.
Good job.
The right size Hamilton Beach slow cooker, and I would do a drum roll, but I stink at it, so you can do the drum roll.
I'll do the drum roll, and you tell who it's from, and then I'll read you the email.
Okay.
Ready?
Alrighty, our winner is Lois.
Ta-da!
Yes, and just quickly while he's pulling that up, Lois is actually the second name that we pulled.
Yes.
Because the first person didn't respond to our message. So we are going to kind of implement a new policy, so to speak, because this is like the second time we've had a hard time getting a hold of the winner. So we are going to make our giveaways be about subscribers as always. So if you're subscribed, you're entered, but you have to respond within the 48 hours and let us know that you want to receive what we're giving away. Yep. And so if someone doesn't respond, a subscriber who is randomly chosen does not respond within the 48 hours, then what we do is we randomly pull a number and go to that number video, and then we randomly pull a number and we go to that number commenter, and we go to one of the commenters and offer the commenter the prize. That way, because we figure if you're regularly commenting, or if you've commented on a video, you're a little bit more engaged than maybe somebody who just hit subscribe and then forgot about us or something. So Lois is the commenter. Yeah, and awesome. So that also is one of those things that, being subscribed enters you like always, but commenting also gives you a secondary chance if something falls through with that.
So I shoot out a message to Lois yesterday, and I didn't hear anything all day, and I'm like, oh no, oh no. And Lois comments, she engages, a lot of you do, and we love that. And I'm like, oh, so I'm like trying to find her in different ways. Hey Lois, throwing it out there. You won. Could you get back to us? I get home last night after a 4-hour trek that usually takes not even 30 minutes to get home. 4 hours later, and I finally get a chance to check my phone, and there is a message from Lois, and the subject is woohoo! Yay! And she says, "Hey guys, what a wonderful surprise! I would love to have the Hamilton Beach right-size crock pot. This is so exciting. Thanks a million. Now I'm even happier. I found your channel. Thank you." Well, Lois, we are very happy that we found you as well. Definitely to get you the slow cooker.
And it's already on. I've already sent her a message. It's on its way. So
hopefully you'll have it before Christmas.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping. So cool. As long as Amazon delivers like they say they're going to. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Yep.
So that leads us right on to our very next giveaway. We're going to go on and launch a new one. My friends at Gooseberry Patch sent me a couple copies of their new Slow Cooker to the Rescue cookbook. And so I said, okay, well, we're going to give one of these away on YouTube, and we'll give one away on the blog. And I'll let you guys know when the blog giveaway is live. But this, again, is the same rules as I just talked about. We are going to give it away to one lucky subscriber. We'll contact that subscriber. And then if they respond within 48 hours, it's theirs. If not, then we'll randomly choose a video and randomly choose a comment and offer it to a commenter. So, this giveaway, I believe we are going to go ahead and go until January. I have a calendar right in front of me. Maybe I should look really quickly. I'm sorry. I should have had this.
It's okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just edit this part out.
Sorry. Okay. We are going to announce our winner on during the episode on January 14th. So that means we will close the contest out on January 9th. So that will hopefully give us enough time to hear back from somebody. Cool. So between now and January 9th, if you are a subscriber, you are automatically entered. And you need to check your YouTube messages.
Check your Googles.
Check your Googles.
Check your Googles. Yeah.
So that's what's going on there. But during the last contest, we reached a new milestone.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We busted 4,000 subscribers. We are now over 4,000 subscribers. As of the moment of this taping, right now, y'all, it is exactly, and it's going to get noisy because it's going to, yeah, it does that, 4,401 subscribers.
So you know what that means? That means we're behind on your challenge or your torture device.
Yeah, because we're almost halfway to 5,000.
Yes. So that means we really need to hurry up and make sure that we do your 4,000 subscriber, I don't know what you call it.
Challenge.
Torture device.
Pretty much.
Pretty much what it is.
So tomorrow, while we're holed up in the house, we're going to have to find different means of entertainment. So why not, tape me getting my chest and belly waxed. And I just want to tell you, I go into the store a little bit ago. We're only going to like the local stores right now because we're not going to venture into the city. And I go to our local dollar store, and I come up to this lady and I say, hey, I need to know where I could find, like, waxing things, you know, like in beauty products. And she kind of cocked her head and looked at me, this big bearded guy. And she goes, okay. She goes, it's in the back. And
oh my, it's just these, like, these are like mustache ones, honey.
We're not waxing my mustache.
It's like a little bitty strip.
Oh my gosh. This is going to hurt so bad.
This is going to be fun. I should just put one on your arm right now just to do a test. Should we do a test?
She looks at me and I said, yes, they're for me. And then so we go into the back of the store and she helps me find them. And she's like, so what's this for? And I'm like, how many do you need? And I went and I did this. And I started putting them on my chest. She goes, this for you? I said, yeah. She goes, well, okay, well, I guess hygiene's a good thing. And I explained it to her. And she thought that was funny. But what we did not know until I got home is the fact that these things are the size of a small child's Band-Aid. So I bought a bunch of them.
Do you want me to count?
Oh, my gosh.
Do you want me to count or you want me to just do it?
I want you to go ahead. And I don't care. Just, I don't know. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. And
he didn't plan for this to happen.
No, I did not. This was not in the production side of it when we talked about it. Oh my gosh! Oh, it works! Oh!
Would you like to do it again?
No! Oh my gosh!
That's nice and smooth, dear.
Oh,
he's got his crooked stripe on his arm.
Y'all can't see that.
Ooh, this is
Oh,
hairy.
that's nasty. Oh, wow.
You need to go back and buy about 20 more of these.
So, tomorrow, we'll be doing that. That's not going to be fun at all.
I have another one. This one will go bad if I
No! What'd you do too?
Well, it peels off.
Let's do you.
No, I'm not crazy.
Even it out. I mean, you know, it took me years to grow this hair on my arms. Right there, I guess. I don't know. This is dumb. Of all the things...
Okay, we'll just wait until you're not paying attention.
That's fantastic. Get your hands off me. Let's move on. Let's go to... I don't know when you're going to do this.
Okay, we got to do reader questions.
Let's do reader questions. You ready?
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do for you.
Okay.
All right. It says, this is from Valerie from South Africa. So Valerie...
We're worldwide again, y'all.
Yeah.
Hi, Valerie.
So Valerie's asking, says, hi there. First of all, love your crockpot recipes. A real lifesaver. With Christmas around the corner, I have bought a pre-cooked gammon. I hope I'm saying that right. Mm-hmm. Please tell me how to make a simple, inexpensive glaze, preferably with honey and tinned pineapple or brown sugar.
All right. And this is actually one of Aunt Lou's recipes, but I'm going to explain. People are like, a lot of people, and I know I'm saying this before, I was like, what's gammon? And I'll go to a Wikipedia, Wikipedia, and gammon, meat. Gammon is the hind leg of pork after it has been cured by dry salting or brining. It may or may not be smoked. Like bacon, it needs to be cooked before it can be eaten. It may be sold on the bone or without bone or as steaks or rashers. If it differs from ham, and that ham is not cured, or that ham is cured after being cut from the carcass, but not cooked, and the curing process for ham may be different. But now she says that she has a pre-cooked gammon, so pretty much y'all are asking what gammon is. Just think of it like ham. That's what it is.
That's what we told her, that we weren't really sure because we've not used it, but we gave her a couple recipes.
Yes. And we'll put them up on the site to show you. We'll put them up on the video here to show you the different recipes. Look in the description down below and it gives you all our recipes. And we'll show you. In fact, tomorrow we're going to do a ham. Yeah. We're going to do a quickie so that y'all can see how we do. I know there's the long form video here.
It'll probably be live on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. So, gammon, ham. We'll shoot you a recipe how we do our spiral sliced ham, how we do our holiday ham, Vicky, or Valerie, sorry. And
then Aunt Lou also has a honey glazed ham, because our holiday ham, which everybody loves, it doesn't really, I mean, you'd have to reduce that liquid to turn it into a glaze, but I think Aunt Lou's version is a glaze to begin with.
Yep.
possibly. So.
And then I have a question from Joanne. Hello, Joanne. And she says, "Hi, Cris. I've been looking for a white chicken chili. So glad I found yours. I do have a question, though. I was wondering, how do you cook your chicken for this? I was thinking about just boiling it in broth, but I wasn't sure. Thanks for any help you can give me. Have a blessed day and happy holidays." Well, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you.
Yes.
And go ahead.
I went ahead and forwarded this to Aunt Lou because this was her post on the site. So she probably got back with you, Joanne. But as for options for pre-cooked chicken, like this particular recipe called for pre-cooked chicken. So we do a couple different things around here. We either use our best shredded chicken, which you could also... Well, you could put shredded chicken in there too instead of cubing it the way Aunt Lou did. And our best, I think it's called best shredded chicken or oh so good chicken, something along those lines. We'll put a link below. That is like our go-to, cook it up, keep it in the freezer, and then use for casseroles and sandwiches and dishes like this. So that's when I say I'm on my A game, whenever, again, when I'm on my A game and I've thought ahead and I have stuff done. If I don't, and I just want to, I also go, I believe Tyson has a pre-cooked product that is shredded chicken, or you can get it in the strips, the sliced, that I really, really love, and we use it often. But it is more expensive than just cooking the stuff yourself. So that's, if the price point is a problem, then I would just do it myself that way. The other thing you can do is, if you're like in a real pinch, you could also get a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store and then just pull the chicken off of the rotisserie chicken and use it in your casseroles and dishes like that.
That also adds more flavor too, depending on the rotisserie chicken
so,
what they use on it.
Lots of different things. But also your idea of cooking it in broth, if you're like, you need it right now, totally.
Yeah.
So just, I think some of those dishes call for things to be cooked ahead of time, and so you can do it just however. But those are the ideas that we typically have. So
cool. Well, let's go on to our featured slow cooker of the week.
I am so excited! Oh! I'm so sorry. Is it better to know or not know?
It hurts either way.
These are decisions.
That's the last one tonight.
How smooth, babe.
It's like smooth like a baby, and hurts like a dickens.
My poor baby.
Tomorrow is not going to be as much fun as I thought.
Oh, yes it is.
All right, slow cooker of the week.
I am so excited to talk about this. So, one of the questions we get all the time is, are you okay?
Hurts. Go ahead.
One of the questions. Is there a spot? I think we missed a spot.
I don't care. No, it's fine. It's lonely, but it'll be okay. Go.
Oh, one of the questions we get all the time is, my schedule makes me be away from home much longer than the cooking time of a recipe. Is there a slow cooker that I can buy that I can start after I leave home? And there's a couple pieces to this. One, you've got to be very careful. If you ever discover a way to do that, which I think I have, if you ever discover a way to do that, because you need to make sure that you're not leaving raw food out for very long, because then it can make you sick because of food safety reasons. I believe the FDA says not to leave uncooked food out for longer than 2 hours, or you should throw it out. So I would not get up at 6:30 in the morning and then start my crock pot at 10:30. I mean, that's going to make you sick. I mean, that's
it's got the potential to.
It's just not. It's not a good idea. So, so there's that, and I believe in, was it episode 13? We talked about all kinds of different strategies if that's your scenario, like cooking things overnight or using a bowl inside of a slow cooker. And at the time, I told you that I had tried a Wi-Fi enabled slow cooker that I did not like at all because it would not stay connected. Yep. So you go to work, try and start it, and then it wouldn't start, and then you've really got a problem on your hands. So I wasn't recommending that, but I was in Walmart the other day perusing the crock pot aisle, or the slow cooker aisle, because it's a hobby of mine.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Walmart is her version of my Guitar Center.
And I saw that they had a Walmart exclusive product, and we'll try and put a link down below, made by Black & Decker, that was right around $50. It wasn't as expensive as the other one I had tried. And it said a Wi-Fi enabled programmable slow cooker. And I was like, I just don't know if that technology is here just quite yet. So I'm going to give it a try and see. Because I had such a bad experience the last one, which wasn't Black & Decker.
Right.
So I brought it home and I started messing with it. It was a pain to get connected to my network. There were all kinds of issues. But once I finally figured it all out and I got it connected to my network, it worked beautifully. I could control this sucker from my phone completely. I would start it, stop it. I would change the heating settings. I could do whatever I wanted. I was actually testing a new recipe, and I wasn't sure, a recipe I was developing. I wasn't sure how long I wanted it to cook, so I was constantly fiddling with things. And it stayed connected the entire cooking time. And with the other one, I had tried numerous times at different locations and on numerous occasions. Mm-hmm. And I never got that slow cooker to ever fully cook for a period of time without disconnecting.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, I can't recommend that. This one stayed connected completely. So I'm continuing to cook with it, making sure that I still feel that way. But this is the real deal. Again, you need to be careful about food safety, but this sucker is the real deal. And I will tell you, it has these amazing clamps on it to clamp down the lid, your favorite feature.
Yes.
And so it's
got that. You take this one to work.
Yes. It also has the ability of when you're not, when you're not using it as a Wi-Fi slow cooker, you can just use it as a regular programmable slow cooker.
Did the other one do that, or was it purely...
You could use the buttons, but it definitely was not as convenient as what this one is. This was about, when I bought the other one was over $100. This one is half the price and knocking my socks off. Now, I will tell you, while I was trying to set this up, it kept giving me an error and telling me that my router had two different formats and I needed to switch off to another one. So I have asked, I actually technically gave Aunt Lou the Wi-Fi slow cooker for her to test. It didn't work for her, so she handed it down to my mom. And so I've already sent a text to my mom and said, when I'm down for the holidays, I need to borrow that back so I can bring it home and see if the trick that I pulled with this one would work with that one.
Yeah.
I don't know though, because I would get that one connected and then it would disconnect on me. So I'm not real sure. But I'm going to give it another chance with the tips that I learned from this one, and we're going to see what happens. But so far, so good.
Cool.
Love this one. But it says on the box that it's exclusively at Walmart. So, and they're not a sponsor or anything like that. I purchased that with my own money. But so if you are looking for something like that, you might check out Walmart.
Hey, do any of y'all have a Wi-Fi slow cooker? Because we don't know. We're looking for people that maybe have tried it and they're like, yeah, this is great.
I know that the other brand must have worked for some folks at some point because like people have purchased it.
Right.
But it just, I mean, we tried it down in Tennessee. We've tried it at my house. We've tried it at my mom's house. We've tried it at Aunt Lou's house. It just, if we can get it connected, it still disconnects in the middle of cooking, which is really, really inconvenient because it's like you think you have control over it and then you don't know because what if it's shut off?
It's like,
is it, is it even safe to eat? Because I don't know what happened at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's really frustrating. So that so with that though, we're gonna go on and move on and talk about our holiday menu.
Notice everything's black behind us there. There isn't, because this is the holiday menu this week.
Yep.
So we got our special handy dandy board that I'm gonna try and not smash my fingers with this
Yes.
time.
So with Christmas being on a Sunday this year, our family is opting to do more finger foods kind of thing, so that we can have the slow cookers going on Christmas Eve and Christmas, and people can just eat from them as they want, and that way we don't have to make a massive meal on Christmas morning while we're all trying to get ready and go to church and all that kind of stuff. And so with that, this is the menu that we are cooking. Oh, you're giving me my spoon back. Thank you. Yes. So with all of that said, though, we will not forego the opportunity to have our holiday brown sugar ham.
Oh no, we gonna eat.
Yes. So we're doing that and pairing that up with my mom's yeast rolls that Aunt Lou shared with you just probably a month ago. And we are going to make those suckers up, and we're going to have like little ham sandwiches for everybody. So we're definitely still going to have that. But on top of that, then we're going to have the finger foods that everybody can eat from whenever they want. And so with that, we got a couple dips. Our favorite spinach artichoke dip, which is so yummy, so yummy. It's my favorite of any artichoke dip I've ever made. And then we're also going to have our sausage cheese dip, which is the traditional, you know, salsas, sausage, cheese kind of mixture.
Goes over well at any party we've ever went to.
Oh, yeah. It always comes, the crock always comes back empty on that one. So we figure that's a good one to just kind of have there for people to have whenever they want. Then we're going to bring the swing and serve, and we're bringing the swing and serve, and we're bringing Big Bertha, and I'm not sure where everything's going to land. But the meatball trio probably would go well in Big Bertha. And it's going to be 3 different meatballs with 3 different flavors. And so I think we're going to share that on one of them on Cooking Chris's Dishes, and maybe a quickie too.
And so they're all so good.
That's all going to be coming up real soon. But our meatball trio is going to have our French onion meatballs, which we've shared on Cooking Chris's Dishes before. Super easy, super tasty. Gonna have our Easy Party meatballs, which is the traditional meatball that has the grape jelly in it that a lot of people really, really love. And then we're doing our tangy pineapple meatballs that anybody who's ever had them has been like, I need that recipe.
It's making me so hungry talking about it.
Yeah. So they are actually really good by themselves. They're good over rice. They're good as sandwiches. Everybody, you know, especially if you are a fan of like a Hawaiian style pizza, you're going to like those meatballs. So that's coming up. Dessert is this is where I'm not sure where all the stuff is going to fall, because we're going to do a fruit tray with several different dipping sauces. So we're going to have our caramel dip, which we also have a rum chata version of. And then Aunt Lou said, but what about the cream cheese caramel dip? So it might get put on there too. I'm not sure. And then we have her...
It should.
Yeah. Then we have her caramel s'more dip, which is has a chocolate base to it. So we've got that. And then just because everything isn't sweet enough, we've got magic bars that we're going to do too. So I don't think we'll go hungry. Do you?
I don't know. I'll have to wait and see.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure like I said, we're going to eat good.
Yes. So that's our menu this week, instead of sharing, because we figure most people are trying to plan their holidays right now. So that's what we're doing.
I think we're going to eat very, very well.
Yes.
All right, well, let's talk about our discussion. And this one comes from Julie. Hey, Julie. And Julie says, what made you decide to do food blogs? When did you become interested in cooking? And how much time do the blogs take from your week? And then my favorite question is, how'd you both get to be so cool? Oh, darling, if you knew us. She's cool.
No.
I'm not so cool.
It's all right.
Notice she didn't disagree.
No, I don't necessarily think we're cool.
No,
I think
we're nerdy.
We've got a philosophy in this house that being weird is cool. So, like, we're okay.
Nerds
like,
rule the world.
Weird is a compliment. Being a geek or a nerd is a compliment in this house. Because somebody said something at one point to Addie, like, "Oh, that's so weird," and she's like, "Thank you." So, that's just the way we roll.
Yeah.
But so when did you first get interested in cooking, Mr. GOODe?
I've been interested in cooking since I was a kid.
Eating?
Since I started eating. My mom is just and I've talked about her a lot, and I'll continue to for the rest of my life. She is a master cook. She is so good, and she grew up home cooking. Everything was home cooking. Everything's with butter, real eggs, whole milk, flour.
Real eggs versus the fake ones.
Well, yeah, that makes I mean, everything was real ingredients from scratch. Yes, my mom's chicken and noodles is the best chicken and noodles in the world. My mom's mashed taters are the best mashed taters in the world. I could sit there and think of all these different. She would handpick. She would go out into Dad's junkyard, and there had raspberry and blackberry vines everywhere, and she would climb through junk and cars and stuff like that for the raspberries and blackberries, and she would make pies and jellies and jams and homemade sweet roll or pecan rolls and homemade crescent rolls. And so I've always been interested in cooking because knowing especially I was growing up that I was going to leave home, but I still wanted to eat Mom's food because Mom's food was the best. Then we got married, and it didn't taste like Mom's because she was new to the whole cooking thing. I was new to the whole cooking thing. And then here's where I got so proud of you. Even before she started doing the food blogs, she started testing out how to make recipes that tasted good, which led to Goodness Gracious.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I started Goodness Gracious back in 2009, which was well before Recipes at Crock was launched. And honestly, when I first started that, it wasn't for it wasn't to be a food blog. It was mainly to be almost like an online scrapbook kind of thing of our family. It was something that I had read a few blogs, and I just was really kind of overtaken by the idea of being able to share photos and stories and all that kind of stuff. And so pretty soon, whenever I started doing that, though, I saw that some of my friends were sharing their recipes as like an easy way to share recipes with family and friends. And so I started doing that, and people really liked it. And then on top of that, pretty relatively soon in, one of my favorite cookbook companies, Gooseberry Patch.
Vicky and Joanne, we love you.
Yeah. They reached out to me and they said, hey, we see that, because I was sharing some of the recipes that I had found in their cookbooks, which I had fallen head over heels for. And
you'd never know it if you saw our bookshelf. We have a library dedicated to them.
I, as a young cook, when we first got married, Gooseberry Patch became just a lifesaver for me, because I was looking for cookbooks that were filled with recipes that I wanted to make in my kitchen like I grew up with, that were more home style meals and not so, like in a lot of other cookbooks at the time, it was too fancy or just like not dishes that we
Julia Child recipes. Let's just throw it out
not
there.
Even Julia Child. It was just like really random. I don't know. It was more for a pretty picture, I thought, in a cookbook than it was to be like the kind of thing that you'd want to serve your family and friends. That was my personal opinion at the time. I was really disappointed. I had a 3 strikes and you're out rule for cookbooks. I'd try 3 different recipes, and if we didn't like any of those 3 recipes, then that cookbook would go to being donated, because I was really irritated. So when I found Gooseberry Patch, they reminded me of the church cookbooks that I would get, and the local cookbooks that my local community would put together, where everybody pitched in their best recipe. And so when I discovered that that was kind of the way that they were doing their cookbooks, I fell in love. And so then I had started sharing some recipes that I loved. And then they reached out to me and they're like, hey, let's start sending you some cookbooks. And I'm like, oh, free cookbooks? That's awesome. And so, from a company that I adored. And so anyhow, So that just was the beginning, for goodness gracious, of just sharing recipes that we love. Not everything was from Gooseberry Patch. Some were personal. Some were just other things that we had found. And pretty soon, slow cooking recipes became like what we were cooking here all the time and what everybody was loving online. And so then we came up with the idea for Recipes at Crock.
Yeah.
And so that that became, when we launched Recipes at Crock, I then reached out to my sister, Aunt Lou, and I said, hey, you want to quit your job and come work for me? And so Aunt Lou joined the team, and we have been working away ever since the late summer of, I believe, 2013 on Recipes at Crock. It is an absolute more than full-time job for the two of us.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think we've said this before, and Mikey works part-time ever since, especially since we launched the YouTube.
I think it was like last February.
Yeah. When we launched the YouTube channel and all the video stuff, you know, it takes a lot of time.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of filming. It's a lot of, especially when you film something and it's a flop. You know, then there's that stuff you gotta, you spend a lot of time on that. There's the editing of the stuff that you see, like this video. Then there's the sit downs of where we go, okay, what are we gonna do? You know, what groceries do we need to get?
So anyhow, so you're working part-time, so it takes a lot of hours. But it's what we want to do, and it's what we love doing. So
how many hours do you think you put in a week just for Recipes at Crock?
I don't want to say.
Oh, go ahead,
no.
Nerd. 20?
It's. Are you joking?
A day, 20 a day, maybe. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot
from both of us, especially you and especially Aunt Lou.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be my little personal shout out to my sister-in-law. She busts her tail. She
really
does.
She does.
She does a great job. She's an asset to everything that we show you.
Yeah.
Whether it's here on video or it's on the blogs, she's a necessary part of the family.
Yes.
And the Crock Posse. So
yes.
Give her some love. Shoot a comment down below. Tell Aunt Lou how much you love her.
Yes.
I might even do that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You're not supposed to like your in-laws.
Aren't you being sweet?
Well, it's Christmas.
He's like, are you sucking up for Christmas presents? Is that what it is?
I was hoping she'd make that sweet tater casserole again.
Oh, no, it's food for him. It's totally food for him. Yeah. So, anyhow.
But no, she's awesome.
But with all that said, that's a great segue into when we try to go on vacation or when we try to take a little bit of time for a holiday, that really, like, messes. We have to work extra hard to get everything done, and then like the video stuff we still haven't fully got figured out how we get it all taped. So we're going to be taking an eensy weensy break, and there won't be a chat next weekend over Christmas.
There's probably going to be, I know we're talking about we're going to do a quickie for Monday for the holiday ham. There's probably only going to be maybe one cooking Chris's dishes this week.
Yeah, we're probably going to spread them out.
Yeah, we're going to kind of thin everything out a little bit, and then after the new year, bam, we're back into it.
Yep.
And then we're going to do probably a month's full of full content for you guys, and then we're going to take another break because we're going to go on a family vacation. We're also going to go on a business trip where we hash out goals for the next year. We're at the end of this year right now, and we're very, very pleased at the goals that we have set. I think we've exceeded many. My personal goal was to have 1,000 subscribers. I started this past year with 77 subscribers, and my goal was 1,000. And I thought my goal was, well, audacious.
A big,
huge,
hairy, audacious goal.
Ha ha, ha ha, ha. And we've got over 4,000, and it's still rising. It's still growing. We got 4,401, is that what I said?
I think so.
So we're only 499 away from 5,000. So gosh, we might have to do another challenge real soon before the end of the year. Who knows?
We better get you waxed up to. Boy,
look at that! It's
red.
Red on bumpy.
Maybe we need to.
No.
The stuff like the after stuff on there.
Oh yeah, you can do that. You do that while I'm talking.
Okay.
But we're going to go on a business trip and discuss goals for the next year as well.
Does that hurt?
Not yet, a little bit. It's arid. No, burn, sting. And talk about how we're not going to do any more abusive things to Mikey after this year. And this is also where we're going to be, we brainstorm and say, okay, what are we going to do for the 5,000, member challenge? Are we going to do a 6 or are we going to wait till 10?
ready to stop this every 1,000.
It's starting to hurt. But we will be back in full swing after the new year.
Yes.
We're still going to give you, I mean, this is going to happen because I didn't spend all that money on all these waxing strips. There's like, what, 20 of them? 10?
I don't know.
10 or 12
we'll
maybe.
Have to figure it out.
I don't know, 20 or 30 waxing strips. We believe
we
in using what we buy. No, we're good. We're snowed in. But we're going to...
The long story short is the next weekly chat will be on the 31st.
Yes.
And in between now and then, you're going to see different, like, it's going to be a little bit of a different schedule, but we'll try and get as much stuff as we can.
We'll do a couple different cooking Chris's dishes probably. We'll do a quickie for sure. I'm having a lot of fun doing the Christmas songs.
Yeah.
And a lot of interaction with those. So, hey, we're going to do this again. Give me a shout out. Tell me some Christmas songs that y'all like, and I'll learn a couple of them and do them over the next the next week, because Christmas is this week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a couple more Christmas songs this week, just for fun.
Okay.
And we'll have some more fun. Tomorrow we're going to wax me, and I'm certain after what I felt there that I'm going to be in tears the rest of the day.
We just had maybe I need some earplugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably going to. You might call the neighbors and have them plug their ears, because that's going to hurt.
Send us your questions.
Send us your comments.
Bye.
Oh, wait.
What?
Merry Christmas.